Hi guys. Um, it's been a minute, a very long minute, but I think I'm back, ready to start back making my videos. I had a bit of a life transition, I'll call it. Had to, I moved, and well, I'm back in the South. That's all I'll say. Someplace I said I was not going to come to again, and but I'm here. So anyway, I had a life transition, as I say, and I think I'm finally kind of settled down a little bit. Lots been going on, but I'm good. I'm fine. I missed y'all, and glad to be back on my videos. Uh, and I have gotten so many new subscribers, and I just, I want to thank you guys. I really do. I want to thank you all for listening to me, for giving me a voice, and for thinking that I have something to say. I appreciate that because that's what I'm here for. That's what I do. I like to try to give people different perspectives on things, life, and you know, um, hopefully that hope that I could be a help to them. Because usually that's the thing about life. Your life really doesn't change much until you begin to see it in a different way and begin to change your thoughts, change your habits, change your perspective about things. You could be in a situation, but the way you think and feel and speak about it uh, is kind of what either makes it good or bad in a lot of ways. It's a lot of times it's all about perception. You know, um, and that kind of brings me to what I kind of wanted to talk about today: behaviors. Personalities, and I've recently had an encounter. Well, let me say it like this: I've recently kind of been privy to a person's relationship with a woman is extremely jealous. And, it's kind of one of those things where all women, any woman is a suspect, And so, I wanted to talk about that a little bit because uh, one of the things with this particular person is that she is very, very young. So I know that that makes a difference. Now, you have older women who are very jealous and insecure and everything as well. I have ran into that. I've pretty much ran into it all in my life. And it makes it hard. It really makes it hard for me to meet women, to find good, solid female relationships because whether you flirt with their man or not, or whether their man flirts with you or not, it seems like it's always something in the back of their mind that, oh, what if, or maybe, and so that brings about that insecurity, that brings about that, it brings about those problems of, her not wanting you around him, her not wanting you to be alone with him, her always watching, always looking. And I don't like dealing with that. So usually I just stay away. Once I start seeing those little side eyes or, the little expressions on her face or whatever, I go. I just don't want to deal with that. So, like I say though, but it causes me personally not to really be able to have a lot of female friends, especially ones who have a man, because like I say, they have those insecurities. And this is young and old. This is young and old. But the thing about insecurities is First thing about that word insecurities is insecurities, which lets you know that that's something going on inside of you. You can say that they make you insecure because, oh, but he's flirty, he looks at other women, he whatever. He really wouldn't be a human being if he didn't look at other people. I mean, seriously, he would not be a living, breathing human being if he didn't have, I mean, you look at people. Now, once again, getting back to perspectives, it's about how you see it. Is there something inside of you that makes you feel like he's looking at her and wanting her? Or is it something that, he can look at her, but I know he's mine. I know that he's coming home with me, and I know that I don't have anything to compare myself with another woman for, because I know who I am. And if that's not good enough for him, then, he can go. And that's kind of me. That's been my philosophy. That's been the way that I have always been. I've never been the jealous type. You get a little jealous, you get a little whatever, but thinking that another woman's going to take my man, seriously, I've never had that. I have never had that, because I've always given the men in my life enough freedom to let him do what he wants to do, which is another problem that a lot of jealous women deal with. They don't want their man to go anywhere. They want their man to stay right there with them, right up under them. Don't pretty much let him out of your eyesight. And what that does is that locks him in and makes him feel like he's in jail or prison or whatever, or like he has to get away. So yeah, when he gets away, he probably does stay out a little bit longer. When he gets away, he probably does do a little extra stuff or whatever, as not to be around you and your smothering. That's just really the bottom line. I mean, we know the saying that if you love something, you let it go, and if it comes back, it's yours, and if it doesn't, it wasn't yours anyway. It's just that, it's kind of what I'm saying. If you feel that you have to be so insecure that you have to smother your man and he has to stay up under you, and you have to know where he is, you have to know where he's going, you have to be able to call him, check his phone, find out, it's not good. Because what you're going to do is you're going to smother somebody so much until they're going to get away from you. Give people freedom. You have your freedom. You go places. You do things. Have some time apart. And when you come back together, it'll be good because you have something to talk about. You've missed each other. And once again, it's about perspective. What is it inside of you that's making you feel like if you don't hold on to this guy, and if you don't keep him close and keep him near, he's not going to stay with you? It is something inside of you that you feel that you're not good enough to keep him? Is it your conversation? Is it your, the way you look, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, whatever it is that you feel like is the issue with you, you need to deal with that. Because, obviously he's with you. So it has to be something good about you. But that's some inner workings that needs to happen inside of you. That if you feel like if you let him out of your sight, he's not going to come back. You need to deal with that, as well. Another real problem with dealing with jealous women is the snooping. You snooping and looking and got to check his phone and checking his pants pockets and all that. I can guarantee you, and this is my word to Jah Rastafari, I have never checked a man's pants. I have never gone through a man's wallet to snoop. I've never done that in my life. And because I feel like once you get to that point of no trust, because that's exactly what we're talking about now, is trust. When you feel like you have to get to that level of, oh, let me check, let me see, let me look through his phone, I mean, if you feel like you need to do all that, then you really don't need to be with him. First of all, it's a bunch of headache. I'm not going to do that. That is too much headache. It's too much work, and I'm just not going to do that. But you have women who are straight detectives. I mean, they have straight detective licenses. They, I mean, and let me tell you the problem with that. When you look for something so hard, you're gonna find it. When you listen for something so, you're always trying to hear and trying to see what you can snoop out of it, you're gonna find something. And when you find something, it may not even necessarily be what you're looking for, but because you're looking so hard and because you are so determined to find out something, once again, it's going to be your perception of how you hear it and how it's coming across to you, because you're already looking for something anyway. You know what I'm saying? So then there's an argument. There's a fight. There's a, well, who is she and what you doing with her and this and that. And I mean, it could be his cousin. It could be his coworker. It could be whatever. I mean, but these jealous, insecure women don't want any woman around their man. And so you have a lot of them who's even jealous of family. You find out that's his cousin, you still jealous. You still don't want him around her. you know, don't want him calling his mama, his sisters, his family. You don't want him around them. I mean, that's just not cool. That's just not good. You're not happy. He can't be happy. You all can't be free. You all can't live. It's all of that is just, for me, too much work. If I feel like I have to do all that, I don't need him. Pick another man or be manless until you deal with your inner securities, your inner troubles, your inner problems, your inner stuff. A lot of people, they are in relationships and want companionship, and they're lonely and everything, and they want to be with somebody, but they're not ready. They A lot of people who are with people and treating them and doing them like that don't even deserve to be with those people, because they're making their lives miserable because of them, because of their stuff. I've dealt with that, not a whole lot in my life because of the type of woman that I am and the integrity and the way that I carry myself. My man knows I'm not going to cheat on him. That's not me. But I had a relationship where I had to deal with that, where I was always being accused, where I was always being looked at, I was always watched, I was always listening to my conversations, what you doing, who you talking to, which I really didn't even talk on the phone at that time unless he was gone. I remember I had finally I had a best friend in middle school, and it was like five of us, and one of them, we finally found each other. I was an adult. We finally found each other back in my probably late 20s or something. I found her on social media, and we were so happy to get back together and talk to each other. We were getting ready to meet each other again. She lived on, the other side of town in the same city I was living in. She was still there. And I was just so excited. She was getting ready to get married, and so I just really wanted to get with her. But the idiot that I was with, I mean, he was just such a penis about the whole situation until he messed it up. He would come in arguing and fussing with me, see I'm on the phone, and start talking loud and stupid in the background, so I would get off the phone with her. It was a mess. And so instead of me and her trying to catch up and talk to each other and all this, my whole conversation was, I'm sorry, I'm sorry he said that, I'm sorry you had to hear that, and I don't know what his problem is. I mean, it was just dealing with him. And it's like after about three, maybe four conversations, me and her was just like, this is not going to work. and we drifted apart. Me and her drifted apart, and I haven't found her again yet. But that's just how it is when you're dealing with silly, insecure people who don't want other people around you, men or women or family. You need to get away from those kind of people. You really do, because it's not going to end well. Not going to end well. And that's one of the things that I really truly regret about that particular relationship, that I even lost the reconnection with my really, really good friend. So many things I lost in that particular relationship because of the way that he was. And this goes for men and women. Dealing with a jealous woman, dealing with a jealous man, a lot of times can be even worse, because a lot of times, because men are just naturally stronger than women, stuff starts turning violent. Now, I'm not saying a woman is not violent either, because when she starts tripping and thinking this and all that, yeah, she can get violent too. And that's why I say it's not good for men or women. It's just not good, you know, fighting and arguing. And I mean, it's just not good, you know. Um, so that really, that it's just, I mean, it's so much that goes with that. So much that goes with that, ruining people's stuff, you know, bleaching people's clothes, bashing out people's car windows, anything that you might have given them or bought them, destroying it, all that, so they won't have it or whatever. I mean, just that's some sick, psycho, crazy, other level stuff that is not even necessary, because first of all, once again, I've never done anything like that. I've never seen the need to do anything like that. And it's so silly and ridiculous, because what that does is that tells the other person that you are so vital, and so you mean so much to me, and I can't live without you, so much to the point that this is the crazy extent that I'm going to go to, because I feel like I'm losing you. And to be honest, I'm just not going to do that. I'm just not going to give any man that type of satisfaction, that I'm just so crazy over him that, I'm going to bleach your stuff. I will, tear your stuff up. I'm going to slash your tires, and, I'm going to make sure you're homeless and penniless, and you don't have, I mean, come on, that's, who are you that you're that special, that no one can leave you or that no one can uh, find another relationship other than you, that you have to go psycho mad off crazy. I mean, come on, that and that stuff is not cute. It's not cute. You see that on these little silly talk shows, and and these women, acting crazy, and they think that stuff is funny, and the audience is laughing and all of this kind of stuff, and it's just like that just shows that you are just a psycho. I'm not going to give anybody the satisfaction of that foolishness. A real woman walks away. When the relationship is done and over with, you know it, and you leave and you walk away, and you don't call, and you don't look for him, and you don't, you know, if you keep the pictures, put them up somewhere, the memories and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, you don't sit and, you know, drink yourself to death, and sit and play these slash your wrist love songs and all of this, and just cry and beg and moan and call him. And I mean, come on, you need medication. You need some serious counseling if that's the kind of stuff that you're doing, that you have not learned to deal with life and love. Life is about losing, and leaving, and saying goodbye, and saying hello, and regaining, and renewing, and getting anew. I mean, a lot of times, when relationships end, and when you are in a situation that has turned to where you're not going to be with that person anymore, sometimes it is a blessing. I think I spoke about this on another video. Sometimes it is what you need to get them out of your life so that you can do something else, so you can grow, so other people can come into your life and bring you new things. You know what I'm saying? It's not always the end of the world. Sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. Sometimes you grow. Sometimes you soar to higher heights and deeper depths when you get people out of your life that don't need to be there. But we try to hold on to them so strong and so long until we keep ourselves bound. There are people who will not move on so much until they are still pining over people from high school. They're still pining away over their first love. They're still and they're caught emotionally and trapped to the point that they can never love anybody. They can never really truly fully give themselves fully and wholly to another person to find new love because they're still trapped with, who they had back when they was 16, 17, or however, those are the things that I'm saying need to be dealt with. People don't realize how much they need to deal with themselves. They're always pointing at the other person. Well, if they didn't, oh well, because they so and so, I did this, and no, it's none of that. It's you. It's always you, and it's perception. It's nothing that they can do to make you do anything. Period. It's all about you and how you look at it and what you do and how you react. That's what it's about. So, I'm going to end this video, but, like I say, it's just, something that I really wanted to address because it bothers me. It bothers me, I don't know if I had said this in that, and I think, like I said, I think I talked about this a little bit before in another video, and I'm not sure if I had brought up this little story, but, I had a situation where a woman very, very, very insecure about this guy that she with. First of all, he's a player and a hoe to begin with. And she is not the most attractive woman. She's extremely, extremely obese, and so that gives her a lot of insecurities. But bottom line, and plus the stuff that he says to her and the way he talks to her, and she sits there and takes all that. But her jealousy is insane, absolutely insane, to the point that, everybody is a suspect. And, I feel, and I'm not going to go into details or whatever about it, but I feel that I was secretly targeted. I feel like I was secretly targeted because of this dude, because she just would not believe that I didn't want him and that he was not coming to my house for me when he wasn't. He was coming to my house for somebody else that lived there, And, even if he was, I wouldn't not have had him. I told her over and over and over, this guy was not my type. He is, not my type at all. First of all, he a hoe. Why do I want that? Why do I want that headache in my life? And he a hoe. He cheating on you. What would I want him for? And he's cheating. You tell me about the stuff that he's doing, but yet I want him? No. So, but yeah, that was a hard time in my life because I felt like I had to just continue to prove. I don't want your man. I tried to stop talking to her. I told her that I don't want to talk about him anymore. I don't want to discuss him anymore. She'd want to come take me out and let's go talk and this and that. When I would do that, I would always try to change the subject and do something else. And I don't know how in the heck she did that, but every single time, whether we were talking about Zimbabwe or cauliflower, she would bring that conversation right back to that dude, and I would have to sit here and listen to this, and I was just like, dang, is there anything else in your life? And so it was bad for a long while until I guess she finally realized that I did not want this dude. And so she backed off, and she stopped calling and stopped wanting me to go out with her and all this kind of stuff, just to sit and listen and hear about this. I mean, I just told her I don't want to have any more input in your relationship anymore. I told her this, and she's like, well, I don't have anyone else to talk to, and this and that, and I don't have, and I'm just like, but I don't want to be in that, because first of all, the advice and the things that I tell you, you don't take, you're not going to leave him anyway. You basically, what you're doing is you're just gathering information that I tell you and probably going back telling him anyway. And you're never going to leave. You're not going to tell him. I mean, you're not going to leave him. So, I don't want to have anything to do with that, which I felt like she should. I mean, if he's giving you all this heartache and grief, leave. Stop suspecting everybody, you know? So yeah, I dealt with that, and it wasn't good. Women need to deal with themselves. Of course, men who are are like this need to deal with themselves. People need to deal with themselves. You know, change, grow up, learn, listen, find new. Anyway, guys, I thank you so much once again for listening. Thank you for subscribing. I thank you for um, just being here and listening to me. And I hope you all have a great week. Hope that everything's going well for you all. And I'm back doing my videos. And like I say, I missed you guys so much. And to the next video, we'll see you next time.